Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we cut through the noise and get straight to what matters. Today, we're plunging into a topic that's already reshaping classrooms and changing how we learn: artificial intelligence in education.
That's right. And our mission for you today is really to demystify AI a bit, explore its powerful benefits for educators, and crucially, talk about the essential ethical standards.
Hmm.
How to ensure safe and effective use.
Okay.
This deep dive is designed for everyone, really, whether you're brand new to AI or maybe already experimenting with it.
Okay, so let's unpack this then. For someone who hears AI and perhaps thinks, I don't know, sci-fi robots, what's the practical definition we're working with here, especially in education?
Right. Well, at its core, AI is about machines mimicking human intelligence. Actually, computer scientist Alan Turing, way back in 1947, he spoke of wanting a machine that can learn from experience.
Wow, 1947.
Yeah, and while AI is a big umbrella term, we'll primarily focus today on generative AI. That's the
Yeah.
kind that creates new content.
Creates new content, like text or...
Exactly. Text, images, videos, even music sometimes. All based on your input, or what we call a prompt.
Ah, the prompt. Okay. So when we talk generative AI, are we talking about the tools people might already know, things like ChatGPT or maybe Google's Gemini?
Precisely. Yeah, those are perfect examples of large language models, or LLMs, as you'll hear them
The
called.
LLMs, got it.
They're a type of general-purpose AI. That just means they aren't built for only one specific task, but can handle a whole range of language stuff, basically understanding and generating human-like text.
And how do they do that? Is it just magic?
Not quite magic. They're trained on just massive amounts of data. And they use something called deep learning, which is, well, it's an advanced kind of machine learning. It's sort of inspired by how the human brain works with its neural networks.
Okay, so layers of processing, finding patterns.
That's the idea. And that's
Mhm.
why they can generate responses that seem so coherent, so human-like sometimes. But, and this is really important, an AI model isn't human. It doesn't think. It doesn't feel. And it definitely doesn't have the same kind of, context or understanding of the world that we do.
Okay, that distinction is key. Now, here's where I think it gets really interesting for educators. Beyond the tech itself, what are the actual benefits? How can AI genuinely help teachers, day to day?
Oh, the potential is huge, especially for reducing workload and saving time. That's a big one.
How big are we talking?
Well, imagine getting maybe a third of your time back on certain tasks. A recent Education Endowment Foundation study actually found results like that, reducing some work areas by more than a third.
Wow, that's that's genuinely massive for busy teachers. Can you give an example? Like, how does that work in practice?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So beyond just saving time, it's really powerful for creating, say, differentiated resources or personalized learning materials.
Okay, like tailoring things for different students.
Exactly. Think about using an AI image generator. You can instantly create custom pictures to hook students for a descriptive writing task. Or get AI to help with lesson planning, maybe suggesting different activity ideas tailored to different needs.
Hmm. Interesting.
Or even generating, say, revision podcasts with virtual presenters. It just gives you more tools to engage young people, helps them learn in new ways that suit them.
Okay, that's compelling. But with all this power, all this potential,
Right.
comes responsibility, right? How do we use this stuff prudently,
Right.
ethically?
That is the crucial question. And the main point here is that humans become more important, not less. As the user of a generative AI tool, you are responsible.
Responsible for what goes in and what comes out.
Yes, exactly. What you put in the prompt and how you use the output.
Yeah.
You absolutely have to critically evaluate what the AI produces. Is it accurate? Is it free of bias? Is it actually appropriate for your students, for the context? Human oversight, human accountability, they're essential.
Makes sense.
And very, very importantly, you should avoid using free personal AI accounts or those public large language models for anything involving personal or sensitive information.
Right. Why specifically the free or public ones?
Because those services might process your data or store it somewhere outside your school or organization's control. That creates a real risk of data protection breaches, under rules like UK GDPR. Plus, they might even use the data you input to train their models further.
Okay, that's a really critical point about data security. So the advice is stick to approved tools and be incredibly careful with data.
Precisely. Only use the tools that have been vetted and approved for use in your specific education setting. Usually, enterprise or education-specific accounts offer much better data protection.
And what kind of data should never go in?
Never input personal data. Things like names, addresses, phone numbers, any protected characteristics,
That's where.
or intellectual property, like actual pupil or student work,
Right.
unless you have very clear permissions in place. You just have to always exercise your professional judgment and uphold that ethical responsibility. Think data security first.
This has been incredibly insightful, a real deep dive into AI in education. It seems clear that, yes, the landscape is changing fast, but our professional judgment, our ethics, they're more vital than ever.
Absolutely. Understanding these core ideas, what AI is, what it can do, and these ethical guardrails that empowers you to explore AI's potential confidently, you can enhance learning while still holding on to the values that, make for great teaching.
So, for everyone listening, as you think about maybe bringing AI into your practice, perhaps consider this question. How might thoughtfully integrating AI, always guided by that critical human oversight, fundamentally reshape what it means to foster intelligence and learning in the years ahead? Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.